Welcome back to Drafting Out Loud here for another slow draft someday. We got a number of draft king or underdog drafts to go over today. We got 5 minutes left before this one kicks or finishes for my pick, I guess. Juwan Johnson goes at pick 159. He's been one of the players that I've been looking at. Pat Bryant goes at 157. That's kind of crazy right there. We only have one tight end, so I bet you we would have definitely been hitting. Let's see where we're at. One. Okay, we took Bretton Strange here at 153. We got him to fall a good amount. Juwan Johnson, I think, is another one. Look at there. Ferguson goes at 154. Crazy. He's another one that we'd be hitting on. I, he might start going here, and I think I might be drafting another one here too. So, rising up the boards a ton, which is crazy. We are looking not good at tight end, and the late end tight end market is now just brutal. Like, who is there here that is an upside play? I guess upside play, but also a zero play in Gadsden. Schultz, not an upside. Hawkinson, in general, probably not an upside. Sadiq, all upside, but he didn't produce in college. He is injured right now. They have another tight end they drafted in the second round last year. They have a first round wide receiver that they drafted. They have a stud wide receiver that they have. They have a wide receiver that they traded for last year who is explosive and might have his head on straight. Risky pick. I don't know if you see much out of him this year. It's hard to draft him as well, although at 177, he might be the next Terrence Ferguson as far as we're drafting for some upside. AJ Barner, interesting offense as far as what it's going to look like this year with a second year tight end that is behind him. Maybe not that much of a threat, but maybe a threat. Greg Dulcich is finally falling back down a little bit, and maybe he's the biggest target here. The Miami guy, he got a bunch of buzz. I feel like he rose up and now he's falling back down. But we have Trey Harris queued up here. We have Justin Herbert, so it would be for a build on our Los Angeles Chargers stack. We have Herbert, we have Keaton Mitchell here as our fifth running back, stopping at five. We have Oh, wow. Okay, this we did not get. I was going to say with Lad McConkey, we don't have Lad McConkey, so we just took a naked Justin Herbert on this one, which we don't do a lot. Why'd we do it? He fell to 88. Okay, and we're like, why not? Let's try it out. I think the team's coming together, and I like the idea of Trey Harris, Keaton Mitchell, and then Gatson is falling. We could get Gatson at 177, and I think at that price, maybe it makes sense, right? We only have one tight end. We need more tight ends. We got Marshawn Lloyd, who's still on the board, but we already have five running backs. Ryan Flournoy still on the board, but I think Trey Harris, the stack, and considering we don't have a pass catching wide receiver or tight end partner with Justin Herbert yet, I think we just go Trey Harris and go from there. Trey Harris, welcome to the team. Omar Cooper, I think falling. Jalen McMillan, maybe still falling. Let's go check it out. Tesla's falling a lot, getting some bad buzz. Hampton kind of falling. There's Getson falling a lot. 4 picks in the last 2 days, so 10 picks in the last 7 days. So he's dropping over a pick a day. Kenyon Zeke falling a ton, like we were saying. Omar Cooper Jr. falling, who we just passed on. I think that's who we were looking for to see if they were falling. Yeah. Jalen McMillan, I didn't see on the list, but he was falling at least too. But and then Marshall Lloyd's been one of our targets definitely here. But on this team, I think Trey Harris makes a lot more sense considering we have five running backs that we all took in the early/middle parts. Yeah, that's what we got. 40 minutes left on this one. We are in the 16th round. Speaking of Marshawn Lloyd as a target, we took him all the way up at 166. Is that before after his okay. Well, it's after his ADP. Okay, after his ADP now. We've been pulling him up, so it's nice to see that we got him after his ADP. There's Trey Harris all the way to 160, or yeah, 168. So he fell as well in this one. These guys needed running backs 2 and 3, and they didn't take any. That's unfortunate. I feel like I was thinking that Trey Harris would get back to me here because they focus on other positions. It did not happen. I wanted Trey Harris there. We have 5 running backs. Oh, okay. We have 5 running backs. The first one is Byshell Tootin here. What did we do on this team? This is one of our funky ones. We went wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver. Then we went tight end, then running back. Then, yeah, we went quarterback. Just scooping value essentially on this one is what we've been doing for most of our picks. Pickens was value, London was value. Burrow, stack and a value. Williams, stack and a value. Laporta, bring back and value. Monangai, I want to say his ADP is still below 99. Yeah, so it was a stack and, a little bit of a value there. Jared Goff at 118. That was a stack, a bring back, and a value, and it still is a value based on where his ADP is right now. Third QB really early. We did that for a couple reasons. One, we didn't. I do like watching KC Concepcion. We thought he was going to come back to us. Maybe he didn't. Yeah, we were hoping. I think that KC would get back to us at 123 based on how these guys drafted. Look at that: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. His 7th wide receiver through 10 rounds. So we were playing a little bit of defense with this Jared Goff pick in that we were taking the ADP value out of the room with that. We were also stopping the guy that had Gibbs and Jameson Williams get monster ADP value on a stack. And it helped our team because it was a stack and a bring back, right? And an ADP value. And super unique, like getting 3 QBs that early. Not the smartest thing, but every once in a while, we don't do it often, but every once in a while it does make sense. Like I said, I think we were hoping for KC Concepcion to come back here, which would have been pretty darn sweet. That stinks. We lost out on KC there. And then we lost out on Trey Harris right here, unfortunately. I think we maybe do. I think that being said, I do think we need running backs as well, even though we have 5, because our first running back is Tootin in the 5th, and Monangai is our number 2 running back. We're looking ugly at running back, and there is a running back value there. So let's just recap the rest of this. We got a QB in the 7th, tight end in the 8th. I'm kind of marking this down on my other page in case you're curious. Building out some more stuff. There's one, and so not ready for prime time yet. Running back in the 9th. A QB in the, no, that's or the QB in the 10th. Running back in the 11th. We've gone heavy running backs here. Unfortunately, I really wish we got some of that wide receiver value. Got Boston at what looks like it's going to be a value. I prefer the other ones. Running back in the 13th. Running back in the 14th. And yeah, we still have we could still use more running backs. We could. And Jonah Coleman is 53, 60, 17 picks past ADP. It's not a stack or anything like that, but it is kind of the last of, I don't even know what he's the last of. I think this is where his value becomes slightly attractive at the very least, I guess. We don't need tight ends. We're gonna stop. I think we definitely need to stop at two tight ends, considering we overspent at QB and we kind of overspent at tight end as well. I mean, not overspent, but we're definitely on the high side at tight end. A lot of people have probably said we did overspend, and I guess I wouldn't disagree with them. We only have four wide receivers, but our first three picks were wide receivers. So we definitely are playing this game through our strengths, and we're hoping that volume at running back, like we're hoping Baishal Tootin has like a phenomenal year, and then somehow one of these other guys just scores points each week, right? Like Aaron Jones maybe scores points at the start, and then maybe someone else comes in and does something. And then, of course, we're just like, you three carry us home at wide receiver. Our flex is definitely going to be, we're hoping that Laporta or Loveland hit our flex over and over and over again. So a crazy build, like an interesting build. I wonder how many people have a team like this. The Jared Goff pick definitely throws a monkey wrench in it, right? Like if we would have gotten here Casey Concepcion, then Denzel Boston, then our team looks a little more traditional. Like, okay, we got everything the way it should be. But I think we're just going to build on. I think, like we said, I think we need running backs still. We definitely need wide receivers as well. They're just going to look ugly. The late round on both running back and wide receiver is just horrible. We might get a falling Tesla. He's getting a lot of bad buzz. Maybe we take like a last round Cincinnati wide receiver, which I don't see anyone do anymore. But maybe we do that. They have a rookie that was getting a little bit of hype, just like, hey, maybe he could be the number three. Not like hype, like he's gonna be awesome, but like maybe he could actually get some run this year. But I think we're just gonna take Coleman, scoop the ADP value. He did get some hype in camp recently after the game. Not that that's not really swinging things for me a whole lot, but I think it might swing things for people. Is he rising? Maybe he's rising because of it. He's not. He's not rising up the boards at all. But we're going to go take him. He's going to be our sixth running back. We'll stop at six running backs. I mean, like, I can't envision us getting another running back. And then we're just going to hammer 16, 17, 18, three more wide receivers to get us to seven wide receivers, which makes sense considering how heavy we started at wide receiver. So I think it's a balanced team, overall balanced team, just like this is a crazy pick here a little bit. Okay, Jonah Coleman. Really wish we had Trey Harris instead, but actually, I don't know. Who knows? Jonah Coleman. Actually, Trey Harris goes after Jonah Coleman. We're just gonna go Jonah Coleman. Welcome to the team. There you go. We'll see what everyone else does. Next one here, we are in the 13th. We're in the middle rounds for a lot of these now. Another one where we went late running back. This is the same place we took. Yeah, same round that we took Baishal Tootin in, right? Where am I? Right here. We got Montgomery to fall to 5-5. Where did we take Tootin? Was it something similar? Yeah, 5-3. Okay. So two what are probably considered zero running back teams here. Keaton Mitchell falls all the way to 138. He's rising up the boards. We would have probably really, really liked that pick if it got to us. It did not, and now we are stuck with the remains at running back. If we want to go running back, we have five. What man? Fun. Jalen Coker fall. This is kind of a fall on Denzel Boston now. He's rising up the boards. He might, the way people are drafting, he might flip Coker and like Rashid Shaheed. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think I do. Although maybe I could be convinced otherwise if I, of course, get information to do so. But Unfortunately, that we missed Keaton Mitchell. That's his fourth running back. Oh, we did the darn. Wish he would have. We might have been one pick away because this guy maybe doesn't grab another running back. That's unfortunate that he decided that he needed to double up on the KC or the Los Angeles Charger guys. I don't know if I do it on this team. Let's see. I mean, it's not bad. It's fine. Maybe I do it. Yeah, maybe I do it. I mean, I wouldn't. I would consider it at the very least. Ferguson would be and he probably Coker would be a good play for him as well, right? Like just the ADP value and knowing that Lemon's going to start off slow, Stribling's a rookie, so you only have like three guys that are you're going to count on for points in week one, most likely. Grabbing Coker could have worked, or Ben Denzel Bond. Well, Denzel Bond's a rookie again, but could have worked too. But we cannot. I don't think we can take Coker on this one, although it would be part of a stack potentially. We only have two running backs. We have five wide receivers. Where do we start? Wide receiver, wide receiver. Yeah, we start with four wide receivers in a row here. We got two tight ends already. I think we go running back. I could see us go like running back, then something else right there. Maybe running back again if the right running back fall. It depends what it is. Maybe another running back if it falls to us. Um, I think we hope that like Tyrone Tracy and Woody Marks may fall. I think Tracy. I don't mind handcuffing, but because we took David Montgomery as our starting running back, we're kind of really relying on him to be a stud for the year. And so I don't know if handcuffing him in this case makes a whole lot of sense. I don't think it hurts, but we're gonna play it as he's a stud, and then maybe Tyrone Tracy, who is currently the co-starter on the Giants. Has that move rose him up? We're going back to our market movers here on the Leverage Lab. He's not flying up the boards at least. Sam Laporta moving up the boards. Okay, I like it. How's Sam Laporta? I think I've been drafting a decent amount of Sam Laporta. I think it might be a little low right now, but I think it might rise after these drafts go through. Let's see. Okay, slightly below market right now. Hopefully this does increase. I think it could. We have him a lot with Terrence Ferguson, the most, with a lot of ADP value now on that one. Any more ADP value? George Kittle, one time with a lot of ADP value. Let's go look at our one with George Kittle. Is there anyone else we got even more? Baker Mayfield with 17 picks. He's a QB. Probably backstacked it. Zach Charbonnet, that's probably the mistake one where the old phone app didn't like what I did. Oh, Tyler Algier with 26. Wow. We picked up a super falling. There was a point in time where Tyler Algier was falling a ton. I'm like, am I gonna have like so much Tyler Algier? Let's see this team just for fun. Oh, this is the one with Zach Charbonnet with horrible value. Okay. And then we made up for it with Tyler Algier. We just kind of flip-flopped him, I guess. Whoops. Okay, so not as pretty as it could have been. We have a Malik Willis, not a Bryce Young, Jordan Love team. There's a QB room. Omarion Hampton, Brian Thomas. One of our only Alec Pierce teams. Stephon Diggs, 48 picks after ADP. I didn't see Stephon Diggs. 48. Where's Stephon Diggs here? Is he the only one Diggs team here? Okay, yeah, only the one Diggs team. Oh, that Zach Charbonnet pick. Ugh. Okay. Anyways, on this one, I think we just got to take running backs. I don't have a whole lot of Tyrone Tracy. I don't think. I've been kind of done at running back by that point. Yeah, only 1% Tyrone Tracy. This is the team you want him on, though, right? Like 1%, and then you get him on a team where you desperately need running backs past ADP. Okay. You sold me on that one. How am I looking on Woody Marks? Probably not much better as far as percent goes. I did take him on a team. Okay, 7.5%. So kind of at the field or just slightly behind the field. Tyrone Tracy, welcome to the team. We'll give this guy a super nice value on Coker, although he's looking pretty strong at wide receiver. This guy also looking really strong at wide receiver. This guy here might end up with he's not looking bad at wide receiver either. Where's the guy? Where's the guy that's not looking good at wide receiver? This guy. But he went 2-3 right there. That wow, 24 and 25. You got kind of lucky with who fell to him. Okay. I don't think Woody Marks makes it back to us. If he doesn't, then we got to figure out what to do with our next pick. We can pull up another running back because we need him. Someone like a Tank Bigsby for like the massive upside. Jonah Coleman's a stack, but I've been I don't know. We'll figure out when it gets there. I think even maybe on that one, Tank Bigsby is a better pick than Woody Marks based on the construction. Denzel Boston goes. There goes Tyler Tracy. There we're talking about at 135. Like I said, we're in the middle rounds here on a lot of these. Pick 138, and I see Mark Andrews there. I see Lamar Jackson right here. Mark Andrews falling down the boards. We are looking good, but light. These are a lot of light running back teams that we're looking into here. You can see we were doing different types of builds. Try not to go robust running back on all of them. We went running back at 1-4. Pulled up Jalen Warren here, and then Drake May decided to just fall all the way to 79. So we did that. We kind of flip-flopped these two in a way a little bit, right? Like instead of going Drake May there, Jalen Warren here, we flip-flopped it. But this guy's got Jay Daniels, Jalen Hurts, sorry. That is a team right there. 2-7-2-1. He needs wide receivers desperately. And Denzel Boston fell to him there. We are we're strong at okay. That's why this team okay, we got Bowers on this team. When you get a strong tight end, everything else looks a little funny. Our wide receivers don't look particularly great. Our running backs look okay. Our QBs look, very strong because we got the two of them. But what else are we gonna take here instead of Drake May? I guess people now would take Jonathan Brooks, but Jonathan Brooks was falling here. I would have gone Drake May, then Jonathan Brooks if he fell to me. And then Stephon Diggs if it fell to me here, which he was, but I did this a little funky because of it. Okay. Not a fan. Like Mark Andrews is not getting good buzz. he is a, they're both week 13. I don't think there's another difference maker though on the board. Oh, there's another difference maker on the board here. We have one stack in Cam Ward, but I don't think we need another QB, right, with what we got. I think we just got to take the falling Mark Andrews and be happy with it, I guess. He's been getting some negative buzz apparently at camp, so I haven't really been able to locate exactly what it is. That's the negative buzz. But I haven't, I've tried, I've only been pushing him past with my Zay teams now, and I've drafted him on a bunch of them still. So don't draft Mark Andrews at ADP. I don't know why, but don't do it. You can get him later on. You can see that I've stacked him up on, okay, so I really haven't taken him naked at all. Six of my seven Mark Andrews teams have Lamar. We're adding a couple more to this. So we got a lot of Lamar Mark Andrews, which I don't think is horrible. Like you usually have probably another tight end, hopefully a better tight end with it. You can see I've got Terrence Ferguson, a lot of them for upside. Let's look at one of those. Marshawn Lloyd, lots of ADP value on one. Parker Washington with 17 picks. Let's take a look at this one, see if we messed it up somewhere else. Okay, I think I'll take this. Lost some ADP value in certain places, but I think we got great ADP value in good places. Who are our quarterbacks? Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Aaron Rodgers. Looks like we pulled up Aaron Rodgers on this one. Why? Because maybe we have, okay, we got Jalen Warren. Just Jalen Warren. Okay, well, he throws to his backs a decent amount, at least did last year. Hopefully, he does again this year. I think this one was probably taken when I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to start rising more, and so wanted to get like the last hurrah of three quarterback teams with Aaron Rodgers. Apparently, I was mistaken, and Aaron Rodgers is falling, or he fell since then. We got like I said, three pretty good QBs overall. Running back, we have J.K. Dobbins, Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell, Blake Corum, Zach Charbonnet. So a pretty dark, and then yeah, a very ugly running back room overall. We did overdraft Zach Charbonnet on this one. And I think this is probably the type of team that you would want to do that on. We need someone that's going to get us points at the end of the year. Like maybe have potential for just tons of points. And we got that, I think, in Zach Charbonnet. We also have a lot of contingency guys. Blake Corum, a contingency guy. Kenneth Gainwell, a contingency guy. Marshawn Lloyd, a contingency guy. Jalen Warren, part of a committee. J.K. Dobbins, part of a committee, but maybe the top head of that committee. So this running back room could be awesome, or it could be complete crap. We'll find out. But let's see if we're not strong at wide running QB either, although we're not weak at QB. That means we're strong at maybe tight end or wide receiver. We do have Mark Andrews as one of our tight ends, Terrence Ferguson and Dalton Schultz. So we're not strong at tight end either. Does that mean we're strong at wide receiver? Parker Washington, Zay Flowers, Elijah Surratt. Whoops, wish we changed that one for Jacoby Lane now. Although we did get him late. Elijah Surratt, Terry McLaurin, Puka Nacua, Nico Collins. Okay, so super strong at wide receiver is what we got going on here, which is nice. Okay, this team plays. It plays. It does play. I like it. That was this one where we took Tracy. Was it Tracy? I don't know. Oh, Woody Marks. No, we're looking at Tracy or Woody Marks? No, we weren't. I don't even know who we were looking at there. Terrence Ferguson? No, Mark Andrews. Oh, it's for this one. Okay, yeah. So we're going to go Mark Andrews with Lamar Jackson. We'll get 8 picks of ADP value. Mark Andrews is falling still. like just like point 0.1, point 0.2 a day. He's not on the fallers list because his fall is so gradual, but it has been rather significant over the long run. Just so slow over the long run that there's other people that are shooting up the boards. Like your Denzel Boston is shooting up the boards, and your Dazon Stribling is shooting up the boards, and they're making these other people all fall, including Rashid Shaheed falling. Ferguson, I don't, I think it's maybe falling. Goddard, I think is falling too. Um, Coker falling. Like all these players are falling for those guys, and I don't know if it's the right thing to do or not. They're getting all the hype. I'm drafting some of them. I'm not like hyper targeting them now based on where they're going. Mark Andrews, we're gonna do it. Two week 13s. We'll have to figure out, maybe a third tight end at some point in time. There's a couple different ways we could go with that third tight end, but we're gonna do it since it's past ADP. Boom. Oh, speaking of Terrence Ferguson, so this is a tough situation that we got here. We actually did the first pick of this one so we could think about it more. We did take a very falling Jonah Coleman earlier, and we wanted Marshawn Lloyd to fall back to us in this one. I know that against our friend Davis Mattek. By friend, I mean someone that all of us know, and no one knows who I am. Um, he's very big on Terrence Ferguson, and he kind of helped rise his price a ton. Luckily, I've gotten in on him before the rise, and I think competing him with him, only myself, he's not competing with me. I think I'm competing with him for the largest Terrence Ferguson bags. And I think I might want to just grab him here. He took my guy in Marshawn Lloyd. Should I take his guy in Terrence Ferguson? I think the question is, do we want to stack up Jonah Coleman, who's getting a little bit of hype, or do we want to grab Terrence Ferguson here? We only have one tight end. Tight ends completely dry up by the time it gets back to us, like we were saying. Completely dry up by the time they get back to us. I'd rather have Terrence Ferguson than Oronde Gadsden. Although if Oronde Gadsden fell to us in the next round, maybe I'd have to start considering it depending on the news and what goes down there. We got a Jordan Tyson team here. That's a little bit of an ouch with some of the news. We have two stud running backs. We have a third running back who is still screaming up the boards. I think this is going to be still much higher than this, I'd imagine. He is a riser. So he's the biggest riser. 3 picks in the last 4 picks almost in the last 2 days, up to 79 ADP. This is one thing you want to be looking. There's one of the things that kind of helps with when I look at the leverage lab sometimes is like he's showing here as ADP of 89.5. Maybe that was his ADP when I drafted him. I don't know. Because that's not his ADP now. His ADP now is 79. So we take Jonah Coleman to stack up, but we don't really need. We can almost treat this guy as like a sixth rounder, something like seventh rounder. Instead, where do we take him? Where do we take him in the seventh round? Eighth round. We can think of him as at least a middle of the seventh rounder, maybe even a sixth rounder. I bet you he kind of shoots up there. He's going, what do we say, 79 right now? So he already is here. If he's here, what stops him? If he passes Tony Pollard, what's Tony Pollard's ADP? 79, no, 76.7. Okay, so he hasn't passed Tony Pollard yet. But you got to think if he's rising up the way he is, that if he passes Tony Pollard, then what stops him from going even higher? Because there's a good gap now between Tony Pollard and like Jalen Warren and Ramondre Stevenson. So it's really like, do you really like Ramondre Stevenson and Jalen Warren more than Jonathan Brooks? I think the answer is yes. but the steam is there. Okay. He sniped our guy, Marshawn Lloyd. That would have been a stack with Jordan Love. We took Jordan Love because he fell like a round and a half or something like that past ADP. Round and a third, round and a half past ADP. We also have a bunch of Justin Herbert, Bo Nix teams already that are just those two by themselves. So why not get a third QB on at least one of them just in case this combination is horrible in the regular season because of injuries or something like that? Maybe Jordan Love helps bring a team, at least one of my Bo Nix, Jalen Herbert, Justin Herbert teams through. Also, Jordan Love, they pass to a couple different wide receivers and a tight end. So they could have like each one of them get one touchdown or something like that. So maybe you don't want the pass catchers in some of those games, but you just want the quarterback because they might even pass more this year. So there's a lot of reasons why we did what we did there with that pick. We were also hoping that Marshawn Lloyd would get to us here so that we could have him stacked up at least with someone. Didn't happen. We got Trey Harris now stacked up with Justin Herbert. And let's think about it this way. We could either go Jonah Coleman and then Oronde Gadsden, which I think is I'm not like super in love with either of those players, or we can get Terrence Ferguson and stack him up with what's my next pick? One what? 170 something? 180. 180. With Mike Washington, Brian Robinson, Ray Davis. I mean, I wouldn't be thinking Mike Washington in that group until he's kind of like spiked up because of one good training camp game or one good preseason game. But I think I like that more. Not a lot more, but more. We're going to do it. Terrence Ferguson. Let's go look at this for fun. Let's do this before we go. Let's see who's winning the Terrence Ferguson bags. Been harder to get them now. You can see that our average pick is 187.7 on 32.5% of our teams. He's now at 171.4. We got a lot of Terrence Ferguson, Jonathan Brooks teams. 11 of them. There we go. With Waddle on 5 of them. Not as much ADP value there. We just had bad drafts when the Waddle rise happened. A ton of back end of the drafts overall. But let's go look at one of those because he's getting a lot of hype. 4 of them have Keenan Allen on him. Hopefully he signs. Anyone else of interest? Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, 19 picks. There we go. Here's our team. I think this is a good one overall. This is with Terrence Ferguson. At QB, we have Jordan Love again, Jaden Daniels. Okay, 2 QB team, Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels. Running back, we have JCM, Trevion Henderson, Chase Brown, J.K. Dobbins, Katron Allen, Jonathan Brooks. Okay. Katron Allen pick, I think, was a little bit of like, does one of them hit for the running back, like the rushing role, and JCM, Katron Allen? Sounds like, got a lot of good CLV here on JCM because a lot of good buzz there. So if this was a draft done today, maybe I don't take Katron Allen with this pick. Maybe I do something different. Wide receiver, we have Waddle. Bernard's getting some negative buzz, but Waddle, Bernard, Allen. We were taking Allen instead of Pat Bryant on some of these teams because we thought that Allen would be rising up first. That's a L on my side. Allen, Jaden Reed, Debo Samuel. There we go. Stephon Diggs as well on this one. And then Amon-Ra. There we go. And then Tight end, we have Trey McBride, Bretton Strange, and Terrence Ferguson. That is a team right there. Lots of CLV on this one. We did pull up, you can see here this one we did pull up Terrence Ferguson to 176, but we were right that 176 was going to be a value as well, which it is right here. So we got, what's that, 4 picks of value right there. Should we figure this one out? Get out our calculator. We'll do this on the phone. Calculator for fun 4 plus, we're going to round it 20 minus 1 plus 3 minus 3 minus 15, ouch, plus 2 minus 8 minus 8 again on those two, plus, we're not even at positive CLV right now, plus 2, 0 plus 33, now we're at positive CLV, minus 3 plus 3 minus 5 plus 25 plus 35 plus 1. 85 picks of CLV, and I think it's 85 picks in the right place of CLV. And I think we have a chance at getting more CLV on this one, potentially, if Keenan Allen signs. If he doesn't sign, right, then we lose more CLV. Keatron Allen, we might lose some CLV there too. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, we might still gain more on him. Trevin Harris, we might lose some if the buzz keeps on going the way it is. Jalen Waddle, you'd expect us to maybe gain a little bit. Jordan Love, I don't know. Jermaine Bernard, maybe lose unless things change. Chase Brown, I don't know how much higher he can go. J.K. Dobbins, not sure. We drafted a little high, so that'd be a little tough. I don't know if he's rising anymore. I think he's still going to rise. So this one could be a fun one, or is a fun one too. Okay, we're doing it. We're taking Terrence Ferguson well ahead here, partly for the bit and partly because I think it's the right pick. We got plenty of wide receivers. I don't think Jonah Coleman makes the dent on this team that Terrence Ferguson does. Terrence Ferguson, welcome to the team. Last one. Okay, there's another one where we did one pick already. We got Rashid Shaheed on this one. Oh, we were talking about this. Look at this. Stribling went before Rashid Shaheed did what's Denzel Boston did not go before him. Denzel Boston is still there. We got 3 players queued up. Shakir, Goddard, Rodriguez. It's a tough one. I think Rodriguez is probably not the play here, considering we have a running back already, even though it would be an ADP value. That means you're looking at Shakir or Goddard. Shakir is more ADP value, not that it really matters a whole lot. It's actually not, it's just at ADP. 150. Okay, I think I know the answer already here at this one. So really it's, probably Shakir or Denzel Boston if you really wanted Denzel Boston ahead of him. I don't think I do. I think I want the guy on the better offense. And just play it that way. And I think Denzel Boston, Khalil Shakir is the pick, because if we don't go Khalil Shakir there, then we're talking like Omar Cooper, Jalen McMillan, Trey Tucker, Trey Harris as our only options, as our best options the next round. So a bunch of like number 3s and stuff like that. While at tight end, we might still have someone like Juwan Johnson fall to us. And at worst, we pull up Terrence Ferguson again, I guess, and do that. Which he might get there with the buzz. Is he rising still? I imagine he is. I didn't even check. I should have checked. There's Marshawn Lloyd still rising up the boards as we predicted. There he is. Still 3 picks in the last 2 days, 9 picks in the last week, 17, almost 18 picks in the last month. So he's been rising half a pick per day over the last month, and that's accelerated over the last 2 days to a pick and a half. I expect it to continue. What changed from where I was drafting before till now? So there was talk of him getting the not only like a tight end role, but also like almost a wide receiver role, third wide receiver role. And that was enough for me to say, let's get back in on him. My biggest concern was when they drafted another tight end in the draft, like, what does that mean for Terrence Ferguson? And so I kind of stopped drafting him at that point in time. Wish I didn't, I guess. But I didn't draft him nearly as much for that time. And then when there was talk of him having this role potentially as a third wide receiver, like, well, okay, whether he gets it or not, it sounds like he probably does have a legitimate role as a tight end as well over Max Clare as the other guy. So let's start drafting him again. And that buzz has just gotten more pronounced across the community. And Davis Mattek then did a video on it. And then on top of that, the most recent buzz was that the Cowboys practice, joint practice, he is getting peppered with balls. So at this point, I expect the rise just continue. But we're going to take Shakir here because he is the last of a group of wide receivers. And maybe Dallas Goedert is the last of a group of tight ends, but I don't know. Maybe he's not as well. And we do have Sam Laporta here. We did go a little weak on wide receiver and that we waited until the fourth round for our first wide receiver. So we probably still need to play catch up a little bit more at wide receiver. So we're gonna go Khalil Shakir and figure out our next pick. When we get to our next pick, there we go. That is what we got for today. Let me know what you think about the drafts today. Am I on the right track, or do you think I'm totally messing up the season? Let me know. See you on the next one. Peace.